sound kind of listless, TJ. What's the problem?
Meh.
Get some pep in your step, TJ. Some pep in your step.
I don't want to, Scotty.
Why not, TJ?
Because
What's wrong?
I fucking hate you, Scotty. That's why.
I thought you were going to say you hate Mondays. I hate Mondays. I can't stand them. Might have to shoot up a school now. Ah!
Why I always hate everybody, TJ?
What?
Why you always hate everybody?
I don't know,
It's
Paul.
so bad, TJ.
It's my curse, man. I don't know, Paul. I don't fucking know.
You got to get a little love in your heart, TJ. Put a little love in your heart.
Let's listen to the A-Team theme again. We're sitting here, and Paul starts fucking just doing that, like dun 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 dun. Do it again, Paul.
Dun, 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 bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, and he did that for like a minute, and like no one even really like noticed it. We kind of like I don't know. I noticed it out of the periphery of my like perceptual net or whatever the fuck. And then he's like, "Hey, what is that?" I'm like, "What is what?" He's like, "The song I'm humming." I'm like, "Oh shit, a mystery." Then I was engaged.
Yeah.
I was like, "Do it again," and then I was like rapt with attention. And I'm like, "That's the fucking theme song to City Slickers." I'll bet you dollars to donuts that's the motherfucking theme song to City Slickers. And Paul's like, "Please, God, no. Don't let it be
goodness
City
it wasn't.
Slickers."
Thank
But it was the
goodness.
A-Team.
Yeah, I haven't seen the A-Team or probably heard that theme song. I know they've used that in other things.
I mean, you might have heard it as like a nostalgic
Yeah,
drop
like a
or
meme.
something here and there. Sure.
but I haven't seen the A-Team or thought about the fucking A-Team since the 80s. So that just like came screaming out of my brain out of nowhere.
Gotti, didn't you actually pay hard-earned money like a retard to go see the A-Team remake, dude?
Fuck no, I didn't do
Yes,
that.
you
You're thinking of the Expendables.
No, dude, you
No, I
went and
paid
saw
money
the
to see the
A-Team, dude. You went
Dude,
and
no,
saw
I
it.
fucking
the
did. I
A-Team?
downloaded that shit, dude.
I
downloaded that
remember
shit.
you going, you
I
fucking son
did
of a
not
bitch.
go to the fucking A-Team.
You paid
You know
the
what,
money.
dude?
You
hey,
gave money to
I'm
the
gonna lay down
A-Team.
I'm gonna throw down the gauntlet right now, TJ. With you.
What's up?
There's
What's
there's
up?
something that's been brewing in my brain. Dude, I fucking challenge you to do a trivia contest, TJ. And the winner, that's what the winner gets. The other one has to go buy them a box of their favorite donuts. And you have to get the.
I don't eat no. I'm not
Yep,
eating
you
donuts
get to
right
eat.
now. I'm not eating
You're
donuts
gonna
right
have to
now.
do it, dude.
No, I can't do it.
You're a puss. Oh my god, dude! You TJ.
I ain't eating donuts right now.
Soy
Fat
boy.
guy.
I ain't refusing the.
Fat card pulled.
I ain't refusing the
Fat
quiz,
card pulled,
dude.
dude. Let me see
Good.
that fat
I'm
card.
trying to get it pulled. I'm trying to lose the fucking fat on my
dude.
ass, dude.
I don't know how you're gonna fucking, dude. I don't know how you're gonna do the next D&D, man.
Dude,
I don't know.
you're dripping with soy, TJ. You need some donuts and some burgers in your life. It's
You know,
pizza.
Shut
He
up,
does.
Paul. Just shut your fucking
Fuck,
mouth.
where the fuck is TJ, man?
Fuck you. When I
TJ,
was
you
trying
home?
to lose weight, you were like a
TJ?
constant.
Yeah, but you know what?
Presence.
It's not fair because you have some willpower. I have
Paul,
none.
have you seen TJ around? There's this other guy that's claiming to be TJ. Oh, what? You know what? I don't like pizza. I don't like donuts now,
I
guys.
love them. That's the point.
TJ, here's the thing, dude. In your heart, you know you'll never change, dude.
In my heart, I know
In your
that there's
heart-
some clogged arteries
because-
that
no,
are
look,
begging for me to stop.
That's true. And look, I agree with you from a health standpoint, but from a truly TJ standpoint, even if you're healthy, TJ, even if like, TJ, your arteries are doing great, in the back of your mind, you'll be all like, at what price have I paid for this extra life, extra time on Earth? Your arteries are like, thank you, TJ.
Get a flashback
But you
of
know
every
what?
piece
In all
of fucking broccoli
in all
or
reality,
squash or whatever I
you're
ate.
fucking, dude. You're in your fucking bed. You're having nightmares. It's not nightmares of fucking like you're being roasted alive or fucking eaten. Well, I guess that would turn you on. But actually, you're having fucking nightmares of the broccoli and kale salad you had for fucking lunch, dude. Knowing this is your life now, TJ. You know what? I don't like fucking lasagna the way I used to with red meat and cheese. I actually like this new vegan lasagna recipe.
Oh, God.
That's gonna be you, TJ. You're gonna be lying to your fucking self about how you really are, dude.
Kale chips are just as good as potato chips, really.
No, I'll
It's
never
over,
say that.
dude. Your life's over, TJ. This is the fucking penultimate fucking moment of your life. Now you started backpedaling.
All
for
because I
preservation.
refuse to do this.
You're full of shit. You're a fraud. You're always for years. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit, dude. I don't fucking care. I'm TJ. Don't fucking mind me. And now suddenly it's all like, now you're like, oh shit. Now you're in preservation mode, dude. You're trying to keep what you fucking had, and now you no longer fucking have it. You're fucked. It's over with.
Wow, TJ.
Damn, dude.
What else needs being?
I don't know.
What else needs to be
I have
said?
no rebuttal,
Dude.
It's just like
Nobody reads the riot act better than fucking
all
Scotty,
I can do
dude.
is just like
Scotty
sit here
reads
and
you the riot act better than
hang my
anybody
head
I've
in
ever heard.
shame, dude.
Dude, like my mom reads the riot act pretty good, but Scotty's fucking got her beat, man. Scotty can deliver a screed better than anybody I've ever known, dude. I fucking love it, dude.
Screedy, dude.
Scotty's got a bountiful mind full of ideas.
Yeah.
You know?
The opposite of the topic of this show.
Yes. Yeah, unfortunately. So this show came about because we do this thing for our $10 patrons where we roll on our creative meetings and we decide what shows we're going to do, and they get to know before everybody else.
And Paul throws out, let's do a show about having no ideas. And I'm like, okay. And I just go ahead and add it to the thing.
That was great, dude.
He's like, I wasn't, okay. Ha 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 ha. And then
It just ended up on the list somehow.
And then, of course, we assigned it to Paul.
Oh,
And
of course, dude.
Knowing that,
nobody
like,
He's gonna
else
eat
joined
that
us.
turd sandwich, dude. He's gonna
knowing
fucking
that,
do
of course, it's a difficult episode
No,
to
it's good,
do
though.
because it's
I'll tell you what, though. When you challenge Paul's at its best, dude.
yeah, dude.
I think
I
it'll
guess
make it
so.
up.
Trying to rise Paul to that next level of greatness.
Well, let me tell you what, I got to give you a little brief history of the research of this episode. So about 2 nights ago, I did a bunch of it. And it took me pretty much, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours worth of just kind of sitting and digging through stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, I've got a good baseline and I can go add a few things and we're good. We're gold. I woke up the next day, I shit you not, and I looked at the document that I had, and it was like the insane ramblings of a madman. I couldn't make any hide nor hair of any structure. Some of it I had no idea what it had to do with have no ideas at all. It was just like rambling, incoherent nonsense.
Oh my god, dude! I wish we would have gone with that one, dude.
Oh no, you don't.
I do.
Trust me, no, you don't.
I want to do that episode. Oh.
So, well, we kind of did go with that one because I spent last night fixing it.
oh, okay.
So I made heads and tails of what I had. I added some shit, cobbled together something that I don't know.
This is the best fucking episode ever, dude. It's the best fucking episode I've ever seen.
Okay.
This is like an Into the Mind of Paul episode, I guess.
I don't know.
I mean,
man.
I don't know if it's gonna be the best episode, but it's at least the best origin story I've heard for an episode.
Yeah, I have to
thus
agree with
far.
that. I have to agree
God.
with that.
Dude, I'm like imagining Paul's insane. I'm just seeing like something from like a Lovecraft story
It was
where they
horrifying.
stumble
It was-
upon the diary of someone who looked at fucking Cthulhu dead in the eyes or some shit.
Yeah, it was terrifying. So I figured we should start because one of the problems I think was that I didn't even really know what the fucking idea is. I tried to say like, all right, Paul, define an idea. And I couldn't come up with anything. So I went to the dictionary for their, haphazard definition of an idea. This is Merriam-Webster. So, idea, noun, any conception existing in the mind as a result of mental understanding, awareness, or activity. 2, a thought, conception, or notion. 3, an impression. 4, an opinion, view, or belief. 5, a plan of action and an intention. And 6, a groundless supposition and a fantasy. That is, my friends, a meaty word. There's a lot to unpack there.
There sure is.
And it really doesn't tell you much about what the fucking idea is,
I
where
think
it
it's
comes
because
from.
we still don't really understand the brain all that well, even now.
Well,
So
we're still learning, but we do understand where ideas come from.
yeah, the general area of the brain.
Right. And interestingly enough, there's no one area of the brain that's responsible for ideas. In fact, ideas are dependent on 2 areas of the brain working in tandem. 2 areas of the brain that don't usually work together. So, developing an original and creative idea requires the simultaneous activation of 2 completely different networks in the brain. the associative, spontaneous network, along with the more normative, conservative network. This, according to new research conducted at the University of Haifa. According to the researchers, creativity is our ability to think in new and original ways to solve problems. See, I like that definition better than the dictionary definition. Our ability to think in new and original ways to solve problems. But not every original solution is considered a creative one. If the idea is not fully applicable, it's not considered creative, but simply one which is unreasonable. So this is kind of more attaching creativity to an idea. I don't know that an idea needs to be fundamentally creative in nature. I guess it is, right?
Not necessarily, because like you could be like, man, I'm hungry. I got an idea. I'll go get a sandwich, which is just but you could. There's other things you could do. So you and a lot of times if you've ever try to decide where to go with a group of people, especially if there's women in the group.
Oh, we'll talk about that.
Wouldn't you almost argue that idea, though? To me, I get that is an idea, but that's more of just like a biological response. Like I'm hungry. It's more like figuring out like how to.
Well,
like
feeding yourself is a biological response, but the specific food you get kind of has to be an idea.
To me, it's
right?
like imagine you have a bunch of rocks and you want to move them, right?
Yeah.
So obviously you invent something that you can hold it and you have a wheel to fucking obviously to move that, to bounce that weight over a greater distance.
Well, that's an idea to solve a problem.
That's what I'm saying. Like to me, that's why I think more of.
Usually it seems like most ideas do kind of center around some kind of problem needs to be solved.
Right.
But then there's ideas that are not necessarily addressing a problem, like artistic ideas, like I have an idea for a new painting technique or something. Maybe that's a way to surpass the problem of how do I surpass my peers and stand out or whatever. I don't know.
So
you can maybe even reduce that down.
Basically,
to
these researchers, they came up with this test they gave a bunch of people. They gave them a bunch of random objects. Everybody got the same objects, and they said, come up with the most creative ways to use these objects outside of their function. And they graded the people based on their originality. And they, of course, went through all of this while these people were hooked up to electrodes and stuff.
TJ, when this was going on, did they give you a banana? Was that
Yes.
Yeah.
Was that your specialized use?
Play with this banana.
Here's a banana.
What else can you do with the banana, TJ?
I found something real quick.
But so they would take the most original thinkers, and when they saw that when they took a look at the CAT scans, the associative region of the brain, kind of in the frontal midbrain, was the one that lit up the most. However, they found that this region didn't operate alone when an original answer was given. For the answer to be original, an additional region worked in collaboration with the associative region, the administrative control region, a more conservative region related to social norms and rules. So basically, you need the two regions of the brain, one to generate the idea, and then one to go, maybe not, or that sounds plausible. So you've got to have the regulatory part of the brain engaged and this kind of fundamentally creative part of the brain in tandem to have an idea. So that's the best I can get to explaining what the fucking idea is. And we're talking about not having one in the in the show.
Yeah.
So
this is just defining that which you do not have.
Right.
When you don't have an idea.
Right. Because a lot of the problem I was having researching this was I didn't know what I was supposed to be looking into the lack of. Really.
You had no idea.
I had no idea
how to approach the no idea.
You can't go hunt
episode.
that game unless you know what the game is first.
One might say that I experienced something akin to some writer's block during this. There were long chunks of a couple of hours or more where I just kind of...
Writer's block.
You didn't know how to structure the episode. You
I
didn't
had
know
no idea where to go.
You didn't know. Yeah, you were just like at the start point of like... that's but you know what? That's probably your problem-solving process for the episode was like you had to figure out what is this episode going to be then.
Well, I've dealt with writer's block before, and I know probably TJ has as well.
Yeah, less frequently as time goes on. I get more.
That's nice. It's still a problem of mine. It's always been a problem of mine, and it really is a nauseating, frustrating thing.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times, if you're a writer or whatever, there's and I write a lot of scripts, and I write, other stuff as well, and I look at, like, a blank document, and you just kind of sit there and, like, get pissed at it and pace the room or whatever your ritual is. But, you start to, like, really feel, like, hatred towards the blankness, and then you'll write a sentence, and you'll look at it, and you'll get pissed at it, and you'll fucking delete it.
Yeah, it's a really, really frustrating place to be. So writer's block is a condition primarily associated with writing in which the author loses the ability to produce new work or experiences a creative slowdown. The condition ranges from difficulty in coming up with original ideas to being unable to produce work for years. Throughout history, writer's block has been a documented problem. So I thought, this is probably the most easily recognizable form of not having any ideas that we can all kind of... It's probably the first thing that comes to people's mind.
Yeah, it
when
was
they
the
think
first
of not having a fucking clue.
I mean, I think we even mentioned it in the episode, like when we decided to do this episode. We're just like, yeah, you got to do writer's block in there,
Of course.
because it's the first thing that pops in your head.
I'll tell you what, I don't like this image, dude. This guy's got 3 pieces of fucking paper. I mean, how bad is his fucking writer's block really? This should be that whole fucking thing should be empty. It should be a fucking 30 or 40.
Yeah, he should be buried neck deep in those.
He should have a fucking
papers.
5 o'clock shadow, dude. This guy just looks like slightly perturbed.
All right, here, I found a better one for you. Here you go, Scotty.
Oh, yeah, that's closer to the truth there.
There you fucking go, dude.
So here's a list of some people that have known to have struggled with writer's block. F. Scott Fitzgerald,
Hitler.
Joseph Mitchell, Hitler, comic strip cartoonist Charles M. Schultz,
Stalin.
Sergei Rachmaninoff, the
Pol Pot.
composer, and songwriter Adele.
Damn, even Adele.
Darn. Man,
If Adele...
I always thought of Adele as like an endless fount of creativity that just never stopped
Well,
giving.
think again, TJ.
Damn.
She struggles.
I didn't know.
Research concerning the topic was done in the late 70s and early 80s. During this time, researchers were influenced by the process and post-process movements and therefore focused specifically on the writer's processes. So for a composition perspective, Laurence Olivier says in his article, Helping Students Overcome Writer's Block, students receive little or no advice on how to generate ideas or explore their thoughts, and they usually must proceed through the writing process without guidance or corrective feedback from a teacher who withholds comments and criticism until grading the final product. He says students learn to write by writing, and often they are insecure and or paralyzed by rules. So there's a lot of angles to writer's block. I think he's saying there that, like, oftentimes the stringent expectations of others keeps you from...
I think that's probably why those new, those fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them movies suck so bad. Because I saw one of those when I was in Gatlinburg, because we had this big, theater room in there. Because it was like me and my whole family and my mom and Steve and Scotty and Stevie and everybody.
Right.
And we were all there, and we had this like a theater in there, and we watched Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I'm like, oh my god, this is terrible. J.K. Rowling must have like very little involvement in this. And I found out like, no, she's super involved in it. And I'm like, it's probably just the constraint of like now she's like trying to. The first time she wrote Harry Potter is just like, yeah, I'm just writing, I'm telling the story. But now it's like, I gotta recapture the magic somehow.
Right.
This desperate need to like, I gotta figure out the formula of what I did before.
And do it again.
And yeah, like, so she's like basically artificially imposed rules on herself and
is
shit.
someone that had one really good idea and is just squandered. It's like now, like her Twitter is like, it's just a running joke. Like, how is she gonna further alter Harry Potter lore, 10 years on, 20 years on.
Yeah, she's done a weird... I mean, like, if you're going to retcon shit, just go back and change the fuck... Do like your George Lucas shit, where you just go back and change the books, have Dumbledore sucking a dick, whatever else.
Yeah, Harry walks in, he's blowing fucking some other dude. Oh, it's Harry!
I always intended Harry Potter to be a black woman of color,
Right. Yeah, so...
Stuff it all in there. Yeah.
I thought we'd take a look at a couple of people. I didn't want to spend the entire episode on writer's block. That was part of the problem with the original draft of this, was that it was all writer's block shit. And it was all just quotes from people about writer's block. Let's take a look at a couple of epic cases of writer's block.
Okay.
This is Samuel Taylor Coleridge, born October 21st, 1772, Ottery, St. Mary,
Goddamn,
Devon,
his
Great Britain.
Face was as wide as it was tall, dude.
Kind of looks like White Guilt Paul a little bit.
A little bit. But he's got a little bit more of a butt chin.
Oh, yeah.
You don't really have that much of a butt chin.
He's got
true.
that dimple, like that ridge in his chin, dude.
Yeah.
So he was a poet, and he wrote a lot of poems in his early 20s.
Did he write any poems dedicated to his chin butt?
No.
Okay.
He did write a poem, and I'll read a little excerpt from it here, called The Suicide's Argument.
Cool.
Ere the birth of my life, if I wished it or no question was asked me. It could not be so. If the life was the question, a thing sent to try, and to live on be yes, what can no be to die?
Oh. Okay.
So he was kind of an edgelord, kind of a poet, but his early poems
All the best poets are fucking edgelords.
got him a lot of acclaim, widely read and published. Here's a quote from some of his notes later in his life, into his 30s. Yesterday was my birthday, he wrote in his notebook in 1804 when he was 32. So completely has a whole year passed with scarcely the fruits of a month. Oh, sorrow and shame, I've done nothing. It was true. Most of the poems for which he's remembered were written when he was in his mid-20s. After that, any ambitious writing project inspired in him what he called an indefinite and an indescribable terror. And he wasted much of the rest of his life on opium addiction. So,
probably just another example of someone who, like, you know, I view this as kind of like a victim of your own success narrative where probably he was torn between, like, do I want to go in totally new directions? But then he's like, but then it won't be like the stuff that I achieved before. And it's like one foot in the past, one foot in the future, being like torn apart and just like not sure. So he just basically is paralyzed by fear of not living up to what he's already done.
I mean, isn't the modern analog to that just like, I mean, the most common I hear about is music. It's like, if people make the same kind of music, yeah, you will please a
I'm a fan of the early stuff.
Yeah, it's like,
Right.
it's, like,
How
it's,
many-
it's a cliche.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's an inevitable dilemma, I think, as an artist, that either you make the same thing or you try something new, and then obviously you face huge backlash.
I think that's just the
from your
reality
fans.
you have to face if you're doing that, is that the way that a lot of fucking careers work is
There's
that,
an inherent risk to it.
well, I mean, but a lot of fucking people, the reason that the early shit was better thing is, you know, a thing is because people come out and they make a big splash, and then before too long you've seen their bag of tricks, and you're like, okay, well, you know, next thing. And they keep putting out there, and, you know, maybe they maintain something or whatever the fuck, but it's like, you know, you're never going to be like, wow, that pinnacle splash moment when you came on the scene or whatever again.
So one of his friends wrote back to him that he should, you know, get shit or get off the pot, pick himself up by his bootstraps and force himself to do it. Mm-hmm. He replied, "You bid me rouse myself. Go, bid a man paralytic in both arms, rub them briskly together, and that will cure him. Alas, that I could not move my arms would be my complaint."
Dude, it's like a TJ of his time.
Yeah, definitely an edgelord for sure. Let's take a look at another epic case of writer's block.
2011 Samuel Taylor Coleridge was fucking way better, dude.
Oh yeah, dude.
2011. I'm gonna go read some Samuel Taylor Coleridge poetry now.
Yeah, dude. Read some of that edgy 20-year-old stuff that he just never could match as an old man.
the pinnacle.
This is Ralph Ellison. Ellison started writing what would become The Invisible Man while at a friend's farm in Vermont. Now, this is not the sci-fi Invisible Man. This is an American novel about racism, and he was a very early black American author to receive such wide acclaim. Mm-hmm. He was a civil rights worker from the South who, upon his move to New York, he became increasingly alienated due to the racism he encountered. Or no, sorry, that's the story of The Invisible Man. My bad. But that's the book he wrote.
Right.
Ellison burnt out as an artist under excruciating circumstances. His failure to complete a second novel after his landmark book exploded onto the scene in 1952 was already a source of pain just 6 years later, when he wrote to Saul Bellow about having writer's block as big as the Ritz. His suffering intensified as the years rolled by, and contemporaries like Bellow, who was Ellison's one-time housemate, John Cheever, and Bernard Malamud all capitalized on their talents and moved into prolific maturity. His predicament was worsened by the feeling that he had failed not only himself, but the broader black society whose aesthetic he had hoped to champion in a great book that would rival Moby Dick. So he had big hopes for being the black voice in literature, but he wrote one big landmark novel, got a lot of acclaim. People eagerly awaited his follow-up, and it just never came. And other black writers kind of followed in his footsteps and burst onto the scene and overshadowed him. And
it sounded to me like his standards were maybe too high. Like, he's trying to write this, like, I'm going to write the black fucking Moby Dick, and it's going to be the definitive black, not like, you can't decide to do that. You just got to fucking write whatever you can and whatever. It seems to me like he had this ambition of something that's just bigger than maybe he could have achieved or whatever.
I mean, I think it's kind of like the foolishness of this stuff to some degree. It's like, I mean, to have these, overarching ideas like that. Like he had a big dream and he had big ideas, and sometimes that means like his dream was just too big for him to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? Because I get what you're saying. Like that's going to arise naturally. Like if people are using this medium to express themselves, people are going to set her around a work and say, this is the work that defines this, or people feel this defines them.
Yeah, I mean, like...
You can't just say, hey, I'm going to create that. It's like, capturing lightning in a bottle.
It just seems to me like a lot of these writer block cases are just about someone who achieved some kind of early success. And obviously those are not the only people that get writer's block, because there's people who've never had that big success that get it. But it seems like a big catalyst for it in these two cases and the J.K. Rowling case, I think.
But these are the famous ones,
right? It seems like they just had like some reputation they'd established when they first burst on the scene that they could never replicate.
Sure.
Or they felt like too much pressure to replicate.
Or they wanted to go beyond it.
I think both of these have in common, and I think a lot of writer's block probably has in common the self-critic, right?
Yeah.
Like this idea that nothing's good enough for your impossible standards because you've tasted success, and now this isn't worthy of that, and you never put anything out as a result. It's like like we talked about generating an idea and how the conservative part of the brain goes, whoa, all right. It's like that
part's overactive, maybe.
Right.
I have with Galen, who's, I don't think he's ever been on this show, but he was on Drunken Peasants a bunch of times. Yep. And, people know who Galen is for the most part.
Some people do, at least.
Yeah, at least enough of you guys know there I could talk about it for a second. But, and I've told him this plenty of times, and we're good friends and all that. But, man, I just feel like he was all, it's just like he was always working on a video project. And now, like he's got health problems and stuff, so it's like harder for him now. But even when he had, enough health to maybe be doing something, it was like he was always working on some kind of video project, and it was always just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it would just kind of fizzle out because there was this need to achieve perfection. Like, you're going to say it perfectly, it's going to be this great thing. Like, I don't know, standards can be too high, because if they're preventing you from actually accomplishing anything, then you got a problem. Right. Obviously, standards can be too low, because then what you do is going to be shit.
Well, I can empathize.
So you gotta have like a certain level of like, this is the standard and we're gonna push it, but there is going to be a minimally acceptable.
You have to be
range,
willing to put yourself out there to the criticism that you're worried that you might receive. You have to acknowledge that, hey,
a lot of it probably is fear of not even just the inner critic, but the outer critics too. Because he's worried that his book is not going to be the black Moby Dick,
right?
Which it probably would not.
Galen probably wants to put videos that like he has these ideas, but his ideas are probably bigger than what he could achieve.
Right.
So it's probably like he's hitting a wall because he's seeing that his inability to accomplish it fully into his vision he has.
I can empathize with this.
The vision just gets too big.
Like to bring it towards something that our fans will know about, or a lot of them will. Cinema for Cynics, right?
Yeah.
So I did this big Hellraiser retrospective, over 1 million views now, I think.
Yeah.
Easily the biggest video I've ever done. And I was really critical of that video when it went out. You'll probably remember me fussing over every little fucking thing and hating every little artifact and shitty little thing I did wrong. But nobody seems to care. And after I made that video, I was kind of overcome with this dread. Like, you know, there aren't a lot of series that I give a fuck about like Hellraiser. You know, it's kind of singular for me. So how do I manufacture that again? How do I make that happen again? And that has stymied, like, it's just what I can identify with this self-critic always being like, oh, you need to up it, you need to up the ante, and your standards become so impossibly high that you can't.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, I can't do it. You know, I really got a lesson in the standards of you and me when we edited some stuff together, like the things we did there. Like, we did a few movie reviews, like, we were trying, you know, we did like the Pokemon movie, and we did like a few of these the first one we did was the Amityville one, and we did like probably 5 or 6 like that, but it was such an intensive process, and it just didn't deliver enough results for us to keep doing it, because it's like, wow, this just doesn't generate enough excitement to be worth this like 10, you know, not 10 day process, but like 5 or 6 day process of doing the reviews that way. Because we're just like, if this isn't huge, we can't do it. But anyway, when we were sitting down to the computer editing together, it was just like Paul was always like way more comfortable cutting things of himself out than I was. Because I have a natural tendency to think, just like hang on my own every word, believe it or not. Just like, wow, brilliant, TJ. Wow, another brilliant observation. But Paul's just like, that was stupid, cut it. That was stupid, cut it. I wish I said that better. Cut that, cut that, cut that. Like, I don't have that ferocious, like, inner voice of, like, you should be doing this or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
You know,
I have a rampaging one.
It's not like there in me.
Like,
at least not to that extent.
The people that, like, make it a part-time job to, like, criticize me, like, you guys are all beat by me. Like, I criticize everything that comes out of my mouth, everything that I do, probably way too harshly than I should. But you know what? It's been my creative process my entire life. It's just how I get shit done.
But I mean, like, I would say in fairness to you that you have an approach of, I don't know if it's necessarily deconstructing everything around you, but there is a method of, like, everything that enters into your, like, perception is going to fall under the scrutiny and criticism of Paul. Not necessarily in a universally negative way, but you have a strong opinion about pretty much everything.
Right. Anything that I think is worth having an opinion about.
That is true, because it informs how you deal with somebody, how you talk to somebody. It's like when I talk to Paul about something, then you have to really think about it from, like, every angle that Paul will be in. Like, it's like Paul will see the... that's why it's good to talk to Paul about ideas, because Paul will try to see every hole in your idea. So it makes you, like, when you talk to Paul, like, I'm only going to talk to Paul about my idea when I've already seen all the holes that are going to be placed in the idea, because that's Paul's first thing. You know?
Right.
But I mean, it's good because it actually makes you reconsider your idea from a different perspective.
That's why I like to collaborate rather than work on my own.
Well, that's really the highest function of anyone who is a critic in any way, whether it be a movie critic.
Well, I mean, it's also arrogant. It's also arrogant to think
social, whatever.
That you have all the answers. You know what I mean? So it's always good to think about it from different perspectives.
But fuck this butt-sniffing, pseudo-philosophical
time for some
babble.
Cold, hard facts.
Sorry.
What about having no idea what you want to do with your life? Can you empathize with this, or could you empathize with this at any point in your past?
Oh, sure. I mean, look, I'm not doing. I mean, like, I didn't want to be a YouTuber. I wanted to be, like, my ambitions when I was 15 or whatever was, like, I want to be a novelist, or I want to do some kind of, like, big elaborate art project, whether that be some kind of musical project or whatever. And I still have those ambitions, but a lot of times, you know, it's just like I stifle them because I'm already doing this and it's already working out. So, like, I want to, and, you know, like, some of the things I want to do, they just wouldn't fly anymore. Like, I saw the Book of Mormon. I was like, oh, that'd be cool to do, like, a musical. Like, you get some musicians together and do, like, a concept. But, like, everything I come up with is, like, school shooting the musical. And I'm like, no one even, you know, I'll just be in trouble. There's no one's going to even pay for it. I'm just going to be booed and hated and despised by all of society. So,
I thought about trying to make a band that fit that niche of like it's shit, but we know we're shit.
Yeah.
To the point where like I've always envisioned this giant ass descending from the top of the stage.
Yeah.
And the butt cheeks spread open. And each fucking member of the band just like wriggles out of the asshole naked and covered in shit.
Yep.
To play the fucking show. You know what I mean? Like that type of shit, just,
Yeah, see, like, it's just like, you wouldn't, where's the audience for it,
You know, when those are your dreams, how can you help but not be crushed by reality? You know what I
Exactly,
mean?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's where I'm in the same boat.
So here's a little article that I found interesting. In terms of not having an idea what you want to do or what you want to be doing, only 13% of people worldwide actually like going to work. It's a disturbing number, to say the least. According to just released data by Gallup, only 13% of employees are engaged in their jobs or emotionally invested in their work and focused on helping their organizations improve.
Yeah, it's so strange to me that most people, like, do you think this could have anything to do with the fact that everything is a fucking mega corporation now? Like, I'm sure that probably someone who was hired by a mom and pop store back in the day probably did give a shit about that store because they actually had, like, a relationship with the owners and stuff. And it was like, oh, they give me work and I help them out and stuff.
The problem is people talking about the U.S.
Now it's like, you are drone number 671-18 or whatever the fuck, and you don't give a shit about if the CEO of fucking Starbucks is doing well. Fuck him.
Isn't that kind of a big, like, do you think it should be a bigger philosophical crisis for humanity?
It is it's just not discussed.
Like so many of us spend so much of our lives engaged in drudgery.
Yeah.
That we hate, that we can't stand. Like 8, 10, 12 hours a day is a lot to work 5-6 days a week.
This 13% of people are just the truly happy. Like if
that's
they're
something you hate.
No, I'm saying, but you talk about these 13%. It's not that they're really happy to go to work. I think it's just they're happy people. So like, yeah, my job is a big part of my life, so I want to be happy doing it and make the people around me happy. I think that's the 13%. I don't think most people want to work. I think it's a practical reality that they know. They're pragmatically, I have to have a job and take care of myself and my family, so I'm going to do this. I don't think they're going there. It's like, if you had a pile of money, would they show up at the same menial job? Like, no, they're not going to do that. Or if it's not a menial job, if it's a corporate job. A lot of people fucking find that it's like, some people have a thrill of going to work, and that's probably a part of that percentage too. But I think a lot of people, it's just, like we said, it's pragmatic.
I found things that were engaging at every job that I had, but I've only ever been engaged by this job, really, in a genuine way. So I know what it's like to work this drudgery kind of job where it's just like you fucking wake up in the morning. Like, dude, I wake up in the morning. I may not want to be awake, but I get in the fucking shower and I'm happy to be doing whatever we're shooting that day. You know what I mean?
Because at least we get to have. I mean, we have so much control over like what we get to do.
Right.
I mean, none of the three of us have any sort of absolute control over what happens, but just knowing that you have a measure of control and you have a voice and your job is to put your voice out there, it's such a it really is, like, I hate to use the word because it's just been soured, but it's a privileged fucking position.
It's gratifying for sure. So it talks about how this rate kind of fluctuates. I guess in recession years, it's been lower than 13. It's been 11%.
It says here later on in the article, it says it's like 6% in China and East Asia.
Right.
10%
so this
in
is
South
like
Asia.
worldwide. So obviously there are places that are far, far lower than 13 or 11%. And those are dragging the average down. But just kind of a sobering number to think that 13% of the populace of all of humanity actually enjoys what they spend most of their time doing.
Yeah.
What a fucking system we've set up, man.
I mean, to some extent, drudgery, there has to be some drudgery. I mean, like, if you're
there's
like
drudgery in this job.
There's
course. Toil and crazy shit you
but
don't
I feel like
do.
it's different when it's in the context of, like, this is for me.
Right.
I feel like a lot of people around the world, just because of the way business is done, they just feel, whether they're conservative or liberal or whatever their overt political feelings are, I think on some emotional level, people feel like, I'm just being used and exploited.
Well, yeah.
Like, I'm just, I mean, I'm not being fairly compensated for my labor in
we had
any
a
way,
problem,
shape, or form.
remember I told you about that problem with that fucking washer and dryer we just bought?
Oh my God,
And
that story.
and the thing is, like, I don't want to get into that because we'll get into that some other time. But like the whole thing was everyone we talked to try to solve the problem.
Well, you got to tell them at least what the problem is, or they're not going to have a fucking in on this.
Well, I was just referring more to like the fact that like when you're dealing with a corporation,
Right.
So just take that out of it. So dealing with a corporation, like my experience was this: there was no authority. No one really had any authority to do anything. Like they all kind of said like, we want to help you, and I'm gonna try to help you. But it's not really like it's someone else's call because there's a whole fucking bureaucracy behind it that basically disempowers the average employee, so no one really is able to make any significant decisions. So it's like you're saying, everyone just feels like in a sense like they have no power or no say in anything because they don't. And Taylor would be talking to people and she would just tell them like, look, I know it's not your fault. I know it's not your fault. I know it's not the business. I know there's nothing you can do. And I just thought about that whole dealing with that, and that kind of just resonated with me was just that. At that time, you have no fucking say. You're just like, how could you possibly enjoy your job when you literally you want to help somebody, but you're not even in a position to do it?
Yeah, just a lot of miserable people.
This is a great story.
Yeah, millennials face life after college, finding a quarter-life crisis instead of dream jobs.
Dude,
And
I
more in
love
debt than
the
ever.
coin. Is this the coining of the term quarter-life crisis?
The first time I ever heard it was in a John Mayer song. So, and that was back in like 2004 or 3 or something.
All right, well, this is my first time hearing it, and I love it.
Same.
Rafael Natividad is guilty of something most millennials don't usually do, ignoring his phone. Natividad, who has recently graduated from the University of California, Irvine, with a degree in health policy, has a legitimate reason, one that speaks to an existential crisis that has befallen a growing number of recent grads. I was ashamed that I didn't have a full-time job right after college, and that shame made me hesitant to spend time with underclassmen or peers who thought I had a brighter future, Natividad told CNBC. So I consistently tried to avoid people, blah, blah, blah. Skip ahead a little bit. This is a real issue unique to this generation called a quarter-life crisis, said Cyrus Williams, a licensed professional counselor and associate professor at Regent University in Virginia. Millennials are struggling in terms of milestones, getting jobs, parenting, finding jobs, having too many choices, and having debt coming right out of college. So many paths I can follow. So we're going to get a little deeper into this concept.
The overwhelmed by choice kind of thing.
Yeah, the idea of having no idea what you want because you're so absolutely inundated with choice.
Like me trying to find something to watch any given
right.
night.
Yeah.
Oh God, fuck you, TJ.
So let's go ahead and skip forward a little bit here to the next little section.
What is this?
This is a quiz. So since we don't have jobs, I know you've heard this criticism before. We don't work.
Yeah.
We obviously are a bunch of neckbeards who don't know what we want to do with our life, and I found a very quick quiz that is apparently going to tell us what.
Oh, okay.
Sweet.
So
which one of us is taking
I don't
it?
know. Which one of us do you think is the most in need of this kind of direction?
I don't know.
Dude, I'm really in need of direction.
Okay,
Scotty
Scotty
is-
should
all right.
take this.
Dude, I don't even know what the fuck to do with my life, TJ.
All right, well, you're going to get your chance.
There you go.
All right.
You have the choice to a free vacation. Where would you most likely choose? Florida, Disney World, New York, someplace exotic, festive, and sunny in California.
Dude, no, I want you to also notice that the top one is Florida Disney World.
Florida, yeah, you're
Yes.
California. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I do want to go to California.
right. Someplace very cultured and different out of the States. Somewhere very romantic, like Paris. I would prefer to just visit my family and have regular good old times.
That sounds lame. I'm gonna go someplace very cultured and different out of the States.
All right.
Okay, cool.
Do you want kids? Kids are my life, of course. No, I don't think they fit into what I want. A few would be nice. I haven't decided. When the time's right, I will have as many as I please. I hate kids.
I hate kids.
Wow.
Hatred.
I hate them.
What feels more important to you personally? To keep moving through life on an adventure, family and friends, my own success in life, the relationships you build in love, the comfort of home and life in general, being all that I can be for myself.
My own success in life.
Awesome.
A very Klingon answer.
You have extra cash to blow. What would you like to blow it on? My house appliances and my family and I's needs for sure. Whatever strikes my interest, spelled wrong, on a day of exploring through a big city. A romantic getaway with just me and my love. Gas or other traveling expenses.
Expensive, TJ.
Expensives. I would save it for something I might really want down the road. I would treat my family on a day out with whatever they want to do.
All right, I gotta make it for the kids' answer, so I'm gonna go romantic getaway with just me and my love.
Hey, there you go.
Because Taylor watches the shows.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
5. Most of the time you think about always a new place. Mainly just about everything that involves my family and friends. My love and I together. My success and interest in life. My mind is everywhere at once, like my feet. What? I just think into the small moments in life.
My mind is everywhere at once, like my feet.
Oh, God. What's your more ideal dream job? Radio host, writer of some sort, doctor, teacher, lawyer, musician, artist, traveler of some sort. Traveler of some sort. What the fuck? How you get paid to travel? Something I can do at the comfort of home, or maybe run a family-owned business. Grow a vineyard and sell wines. Something you've established. What? I don't understand.
I'm gonna go the Maynard James Keenan route, dude.
You're gonna get
sell
a vineyard.
wines and something you established. I don't know.
Yeah, establish that wine. Oh, okay. Hey, is there even a button for this? Because this is an ad, isn't it?
No.
No,
there
see my results.
There isn't a button, TJ.
Oh, it is down there. Okay. All right. So, what do you seek? What do you seek in relationships? My love and I are perfect together. I get bored with one person easily.
Ooh.
I need to find someone who can share the same interest as me. I need someone who cares about their life and wants to be successful. I need someone who is very committed to our relationship and wants a family. I need someone who is willing to do anything at the drop of a hat.
Dude, that's easy. My love and I are perfect together, dude. Of course.
Wow. What a...
What should you do with your life? Alive in your love's arms. Good.
Yes, I'm alive.
You should...
Yes.
Don't die. Now, you gotta be alive in them arms, dude. You're wrong. You're completely driven through life on your tiptoes that are light as your heart. You probably couldn't imagine life being any better without being utterly in love. Maybe there is that's the wrong there too, I'm pretty sure. No room for kids in your completely and utterly romantic
all this
life.
quiz did is generate a bunch of word fucking
Bullshit.
soup, dude.
This is...
It's a word soup.
Shut up, Scotty. This is how you're supposed to live your life.
I'm sorry.
And you wouldn't want anything to change that either, because you're just content with your love and you together exploring each other and your worlds as you
it's
build
getting-
one world
dude.
side by
shoving
side
up.
for each
Whoa,
other.
dude, all right.
You believe in your love's arms, or belong in your love's arms.
I do.
And you feel safe and happy to go wherever they choose to take you. If it's seeing the world or just hanging out in one spot, it couldn't make no difference to you where you are, as long as your love's with you.
Yeah, dude,
Is
see?
it just me, or does it sound like a certain individual wrote this?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't know. It
Yeah.
sounds even I don't know, even the individual might find this situation a little appalling.
What's that? You guys hear something?
No, I don't hear anything.
I didn't hear
All right,
nothing.
man.
Oops. I don't know
Dude,
if
I
that
want a
has-
bunch of
that has something to do with
donuts.
something. Yeah,
All
you
right,
get
so
donuts.
that's-
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So this is I don't know what I want. There are too many things to choose from. So this is another way to have no idea. But it's like
The indecision, yeah.
it's more like being able to choose in an ocean of ideas.
Right.
Because we are literally surrounded by a level of abundance that would make like Romans puke themselves with glee at even thinking about.
Dude, I've literally spent I don't even know how long I've spent scrolling through trying to find stuff to watch on like check out Netflix. I'll scroll there and I'm like, yeah, let's check out Hulu. Let's go there. Oh,
when
let's
we
check
lived
out
together for that
Yeah.
year when we first moved down here, we used to spend hours just sitting on the couch silently with one of us doing that.
Yeah.
So I could even just sit and watch you do it, or vice versa.
Yeah.
So it's a totally like, I don't know. It's just an insane place to be where you're just because I don't ever remember feeling that way as a kid about movies particularly. Like
No.
when you went to the movie store, you were bound and determined to find something you wanted to watch because you only had like 30 minutes before your mom was going to drag your ass out of there. So it's like,
Yeah,
I'm going to find something that looks cool. I'm going to snag it. I'm going to go take it up there. I'm going to rent it and I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, you peruse, but like it wasn't like you were paralyzed.
Right.
With indecision. You found something, that looked pretty cool.
But you also had an external force. You had a time constraint, so you knew that
Yeah.
you had to make your choice in an allotted amount of time. Like, see, when TJ browsed endlessly, if there was a timer on his screen where it's like your screen will shut off unless you decide it within 30 minutes, he'd probably make a decision.
Right, but why would these companies ever limit that? They want you to
They
sit
don't.
there and just loop and watch all the ads.
But you talked about it, it's the dopamine looping.
Well, yep. So I think one of the most identifiable ways that we can all agree on, anybody that's been in a relationship or been out on double dates and stuff, one of the best examples of this, I think, is disagreements on where to eat or what to eat. And I don't know about you guys, but pretty much every relationship I've been in, the current one not excluded, I've had at least one major blowout that began as, where the fuck do you want to eat? I don't care. Well, neither do I. Well, neither do I. Well, I'm hungry, but I don't know what I want to eat. Well, why don't you just pick something? Why don't you just pick something?
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't matter, dude. Even if
It's a universal
you know what'll happen
disagreement.
too? With me, it's like
It's not even a disagreement. It's just like both people wanting the other person to make some kind of fucking
no
decision.
bullshit, dude. I can fucking punch a hole in that theory right now, dude.
Yeah,
'Cause you know
'cause-
me. I'll be like, let's go here, and it's like, no, and I'm like,
Nah.
well, fuck.
I'm
here?
not in the
happens
mood for
sometimes,
whatever
yeah.
that is.
That'll
Oh,
happen.
you'll do that, TJ. You'll be like, no, that sounds lame.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
that
done it
sounds
too.
lame.
Me and Scotty have done it. I mean, because we used to just, if we were going out to lunch or something, it'd be like, what do you want? I don't know, man. Oh, let's go to George's or whatever. Like, well, goddamn it, you don't got no suggestions. Fuck you.
Yeah. I mean, it's just an
Oh, God,
endless-
reality. Buh, 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 buh.
I don't know what I want, but sometimes I know what I don't want.
And isn't it a sign of, like, once again, that level of abundance that we live in, that we
Yeah.
can even have that kind of conundrum?
Yeah.
Like, what you ate used to be whatever the fuck you foraged out of the forest.
Hey, I found some food.
Yeah.
Good.
I found a half-rotten dead squirrel and some nuts. Awesome.
Sounds good.
We can eat that.
Yeah, that's edible.
Cook that shit up, dude.
But now it's, we don't have to settle for that
Yeah,
anymore.
now it's just like, I don't know. We're just like these. We've turned into Wall-E.
You want to go to Popeyes?
No.
KFC I'm trying to lose a little weight. I'm probably sitting
I'm tired of eating chicken. I'm tired of eating chicken.
Sick of chicken.
I've had chicken every night.
Fuck you, I want the mashed potatoes.
I'm sick of
I
mashed
want the mashed potatoes. Fuck you.
Nah, dude. Any fat person knows that the mashed potatoes at fucking Popeyes aren't shit. Give me a gallon of the fucking gravy. Because the gravy makes the Popeyes mashed potatoes,
I
dude.
do like the gravy.
Mashed potatoes and gravy, dude.
That giblet
TJ,
gravy.
you know what? The mashed potatoes, I agree,
whatever, they ain't nothing
I agree they
special.
need to be there. But man, everyone wants the fucking gravy is what I'm saying.
Oh, I don't like
If somebody-
I don't like how you gestured to your dick the whole time. You're just,
Fucking
everybody
gravy.
needs the gravy, you know. Everybody loves the gravy.
I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying. Gravy.
He's just pointing his dick the whole
I'm
time.
not
like,
trying to. I'm just trying to fucking. I'm exasperated, dude. I don't know why the fuck you're looking at my dick to begin with, you fucking
because you keep
goddamn-
gesturing down to
No,
it.
I'm just fucking gesturing in the air. I don't know what you're talking about, dude.
keep fucking.
I don't fucking know what you're talking about, dude. I really fucking don't, TJ. You're out of your fucking mind. Jesus fucking Christ.
There was a study done on this.
Study.
This like overwhelming choice thing.
They should put out like 500 studies and make you choose which one to read.
They do.
They already do that.
Yeah, they do.
All right.
So in a California gourmet market, professor in charge and her research assistant set up a booth of samples of Wilkin & Sons jams. Every few hours, they switched from offering a selection of 24 jams to a group of 6 jams. On average, customers tasted 2 jams, regardless of the size of the assortment, and each one received a coupon good for $1 off one Wilkin & Sons jam. Here's the interesting part. 60% of customers were drawn to the large assortment, while only 40% stopped by the small one. But 30% of the people who had sampled from the small assortment decided to buy the jam. How many people do you think?
I'm looking at it, so
3%.
yeah.
I was going to say 5%.
So the people that were given the wide assortment of 24 different jams people were more drawn to it, but they were less likely to actually purchase it.
That's way less.
Right.
Because it says
You're not
that
even going to remember what
By
you
a
looked
factor
at.
of 10, right?
even though the
3% to 30.
even though the big array of jams attracted way more people, 60% of customers, in fact. So the smaller display attracted 20% less customers,
More
but
bought.
30% of those customers ended up getting some of the fucking
Right.
jam. Only 3% of those who saw all the jams got some. So what does that say?
The study raised the hypothesis that the presence of choice might be appealing as a theory, but in reality, people might find more and more choice to be frustrating and debilitating. Over the years, versions of the jam study have been conducted using all sorts of subjects like chocolate and speed dating. But Benjamin, I am not even going to try and say that name, Shebenheany, Jesus Christ, a research scientist at the University of Basel in Switzerland, said it might be too simple to conclude that too many choices are bad, just as wrong to assume that more choices are always better. It can depend on what information we're being given as we make those choices, the type of expertise we have to rely on, and how much importance we ascribe to each choice. So, Shebenheany steps in going, everything's subjective. Okay, thank you, Shebenheany.
Well, I think I can see this point. Like, let's say you're building a PC. Like, you have so many different options if you want to configure it, like, something like that. So, like, there could be 50,000 choices you could make. I mean, maybe not that number. Obviously, that's hyperbole, but I'm saying, like, so I think in limited sets of things, I could see that being relevant. But, like, obviously with cereal, it's like, or like you said, 24 different samples of jam. I don't think that would be conducive to you choosing one because, like a lot of times you're not going to remember the 24 different flavors of jam they had, and you're going to be, like, confused by it. When you have 6, it's like, do you like this one, or this one? And you're like, okay, I want this one. And it's like if you go to a restaurant with a really large menu, it's like people will flip through the menu forever. But if you go to a place that's like, we got chicken, it's easy. Like, there's like 5 things you can get. Or like go to Five Guys. They got hamburgers. They got a hot dog.
Right.
Sometimes simpler is better. And obviously that has a lot of appeal. I mean, you can even see it in a lot of American consumerism because a lot of places, like, they just specialize in selling you one thing. So some people actually like that simplicity.
I think the reason that people, even if they like the jam, because it said everybody who stopped pretty much got, like, on average 2 tastes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So the tastes were not better for the other people.
No.
Same jam.
Right. So, but I think when they see 24 varieties of jam, it's almost like the same feeling I would get if I was like, oh, hey, you got to check out this, TV show or something. Like, oh, well, how many episodes have they done? Oh, well, there's like 600 episodes. Like, oh.
Or if, like, oh, give me a Coke. Which of the 24 varieties would you like?
Right. It's like, oh. It almost feels like there's a pressure there where, like, if I like this, if I get into this, I'm going to end up trying all this. And that just seems like a daunting task. Right. Like, hey, there's 6 different jams to try. It's like, okay, there's 24. Like, it goes from being like a pleasant little tour of jams to, like, this is a gauntlet. You know, you will suffer the wrath of 24 jams.
This is one of those things that I don't fall prey to, though. When I shop, I'm not one of these people that's like browsing the aisle for days.
No, well, like I've seen this. I think this is more of a woman thing in general.
I've seen dudes doing it.
Sure. I'm not saying it's rigidly across gender lines, but I'm saying generally speaking, like, I want to get out of a fucking store as quick as possible. So if I'm going down the cereal aisle, I'm going to pick it's going to be like the old days at the Blockbuster. It's going to be like, this looks good enough.
Right.
You know?
Well, it's good that we have this picture up because this is an example of what we're going to talk about next. But your lack of ideas are worth money. What do you think about that? The absence of ideas in your head are worth money to somebody else. What do you think about that?
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, because
Well,
if you don't got any ideas of your own, they can fill you with some of theirs.
I didn't pull any articles for this. I pulled a couple of Amazon pages, some Amazon searches I ran for self-help books.
Here you go.
About writer's block. Here's the first one, and I just
The
want
Cure for Writer's Block.
I just want you to scroll down, TJ.
Cure
And
Writer's
just-
Block.
It just goes on.
7
and
steps
on.
to cure writer's block. Cure writer's block. $24 fucking CD. $25 really CD.
Hey, but if you have Kindle Unlimited, $0 TJ.
yeah, you get it for free.
Yeah, so that one's could be
If you have
free.
Kindle Unlimited, which you're already paying for.
How to write 2,000 words a day and forever cure writer's block.
I like
Mastery.
You don't want 2,000 worlds a day.
Dude, I kick fucking 2,000
The
words a
nesting.
day's
Ooh,
ass
cool.
when I write. The net, I don't think that's Free your pen. Insider secrets to writing a lead-generating book in 7 days or less.
Oh, God.
Ba-ba-ba-da.
Naughty words for nice writers. A romance novel thesaurus. This is basically like oh man, I want to get this.
Have you seen that movie Adaptation?
This is like going to have a glossary of like, here are sophisticated ways to refer to the penis.
Yeah. Have you seen that movie Adaptation with
Yes.
Nicholas Cage.
You know that
The 5-day
that,
novel,
like,
The Story
schlocky
Cure, Unlock Your
writers-
Creative Genius.
You know that schlocky writer seminar he goes to?
Yes.
This all reminds me of that.
Oh yeah, dude. I've read.
know.
I mean, because I wanted to be a writer, I've read some of these kind of books, and some
I've
of them are
never
actually
read it.
some of them are actually pretty good. But
Are they? Yeah, I'm sure because a lot of them probably have
The-
a lot of fundamental
read the,
good
well,
practices.
the
for
ones
writing.
the ones that give you techniques and stuff are good. But this kind of shit, like magically cure your writer's block, this is probably total schlock.
You read
Right.
that, and you told me about it, and that was a pretty interesting one from what you told me, the Stephen King book on writing.
His is almost more of a memoir, honestly. There's very little actual writing technique in his.
Well, I've perused it. There seemed to be some.
No, there
that
is.
that he talks about.
but
it,
it's
yeah.
it's like a hybrid of like,
I read that while I was on jury duty.
yeah.
I read that and Danse Macabre on
You read
jury
that
duty.
sitting there in the jury
No,
box, just like
I read that sitting in the jury room waiting to be seated in the jury box and hear any fucking testimony.
you should have just read it during the testimony. Like, excuse me, I'm just.
They would have kicked me out of the courtroom. They don't let you do that shit, dude. You don't get away with shit. See, you'd be a horrible juror
Well, that's why I just get
because
kicked.
you
I just
literally
get kicked off the jury.
if you're not paying attention, you're fucked. If you're not taking notes, they're gonna ask you why not. If you're not like alert, they're gonna ask if you need some coffee or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Somebody's on your ass. The
Damn.
judge is watching you.
What you gonna do?
Anyway, I
Being
don't know
a
how we got
juror
off on that
sucks.
tangent.
I don't know.
Go to the next one, TJ. The next little line.
All right, what should I do with my life?
So here's another one of the questions we asked.
what should I do with my life?
Here it is.
Do what you are. Oh, very zen. Milk Pigeon, a field guide for anyone lost in their 20s. Oh, I'm guessing
there
I'm
it
out,
is.
I'm out of the demographic. What should I do with my life? The Pathfinder, how to choose or change your career for a lifetime of satisfaction and success. Warning, 13% success rate.
I feel like I think.
What should I do with the rest of my life? Career change. What should I do with my life? What should I do with my life? What should I do with my life? Teaming with nutrients? Okay.
I feel like the self-help industry definitely needs to have a DFF on it because a lot
Look
of
at this.
it just
Look at this,
feels
Scotty. Look at
scummy.
this. Scotty, look at this. The cause within you.
Oh, the even worse variety with the fucking
Dude, let's see.
religious
Let's see
self-help.
if there's like a page
An
or something we
excerpt?
can look at in
They have
here.
there's an
Audible
Audible sample.
Oh shit!
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
We could listen to a little.
Occasionally looked these passersby straight in the face, searching for signs of hope, but had learned to lower my standards and seek a simple expression of life. Very few returned my gaze. These people were on
Give me back my gaze.
autopilot, traipsing lifelessly forward, silently repeating the mantra the homeless chant to themselves each night. Gotta make it till sunrise. Gotta make it till sunrise.
Are they
As a
vampires?
blood-curdling scream radiated from around the corner ahead,
Sounds like it.
I ducked into the hollowed-out doorway of a storefront
What
and leaned against
is
the
going on
It's
here?
a vampire novel. What the fuck, dude?
security door for support. I felt an indescribable mixture of emotions. Yes, there was fear, but it was tempered by joy, intrigue, excitement, and compassion.
That didn't
You see,
sound too indescribable.
Yeah.
You just
It was
listed them all.
indescribable. Let me
indescribable-
proceed to describe it.
An indescribable mix of exactly these emotions. Okay. Whatever that
I was
is.
on Skid Row
Hold
by
on.
choice. This was a
He's prevailing over homelessness, dude.
It's interesting though that he brought up the gays, TJ. The gays. Not the gays, like, the gays, but the gays. Bring up the next picture, TJ, because there's someone you need to see.
All right.
Look into the eyes of Brazzo. The healing gaze of Brazzo, TJ.
Gays.
Maybe you don't know what you want to do with your life.
Yeah.
You pay to come to see the Brazzo, and he will tell you with his gaze what you should do with your life. Let's talk about not having any ideas of your own. Doesn't that qualify?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about cults?
Cults.
Oh shit, dude.
Now, we've talked about some cults here on the show. We talked about Heaven's
Heaven's
Gate.
Gates.
We talked about Jonestown.
Davidians.
Branch Davidians. In the wake of the UFO Heaven's Gate cult suicide, I have heard several media personalities ask these questions of former and current cult members. The questions make me laugh because they're a perfect example of how the wrong questions can frame and obscure the issue. Even when cult experts correctly point to the powerful environmental constraints generated by cults, rather than to the personalities and backgrounds of individual cult members, these media personalities single-mindedly press the question, but what's wrong with cult members? The answer, for the vast majority of inductees, is that there was nothing wrong with them, at least not until they were persuaded to join a cult. So for the most part, normal, average people join cults. People like you and me. Maybe not like you and me, but whatever. Like you and me.
Whatever. I'm going to join a cult.
Whoever the you and me, the dork that wrote this article was referring to. Research indicates that approximately 2/3 of cult members are psychologically healthy people that come from normal families. The remaining third are likely to have depressive symptoms, usually related to personal loss, perhaps death in the family, failed romantic relationship, career troubles. Only 5 to 6% of cult members demonstrate major psychological problems prior to joining the cult. So this idea that like it's a bunch of crazies that follow these people is kind of not true. As crazy as they may look, these are Raelians here.
Dude, they look awesome. They look like fucking Star Trek people.
I know.
I want to become a
I mean,
Raelian.
I think that's really kind of I think that is what they are, right?
cool. Is it? I don't know. I've never
They're
heard of
kind
them.
of like, it looks like that's their whole aesthetic.
Well, I
kind of
dig
Star
the
Trek
fuck
thing.
out of them. So, I
Dude,
wanna,
they're just like the fucking weird people in the simulation, dude. Look, there's gonna be fucking people like us. There's gonna be fucking people who want to be Raelians. I mean, I don't know what they believe.
I want to be a Raelian. I'm
looks
getting some Raelian
Well,
gear.
I'll
Fuck
say
this.
this: they look pretty fucking happy.
Damn, TJ's got some Raelian gear on hand.
I'm going to go buy some right now.
Oh, shit.
I mean, Paul, can you deny these people look genuinely pretty fucking happy?
I mean, yeah, I won't deny it. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
maybe if you become a Raelian, dude, all your problems will be solved.
I mean, maybe she's just smiling for the camera, and behind the
know.
scenes, he's like beating her with a lightsaber or something.
I don't know about that.
Like a
maybe.
plastic lightsaber that he
It's
got
possible.
from Disney World or
Maybe he's
something.
choking her with his fucking cool ass necklace, dude. He's all
Yeah,
like,
who
"You don't
knows?
believe enough."
I don't know. I do know that abuse tends to proliferate in these Raelian, well, not necessarily the Raelians, but in these
In
cults environments.
Well, of
with,
course.
radiating down from the power structure. So I think that, I don't know who this guy is. Maybe we can do an episode on the Raelians. I do know that he's one of the major members of He might be the leader of the Raelians right now. I don't
Well, I know we're doing. Aren't you doing an episode? Oh, well, we don't talk about that. Never mind.
Aha.
Almost caught us.
You almost did it. According to psychologist and cult expert Margaret Thaler Singer, cults flourish during periods of social and political turbulence.
Cool.
And during breakdowns in the structure and rules of the prevailing society.
Dude, I hate the prevailing
Dude,
society.
we need a fucking. Have we had any cool cults lately, dude? I don't. I've heard about some, but they even the ones I saw though, they were too inclusive. They like literally let Vice journalists go to them. So I'm like, no, I want a cult that's like insular.
So cults.
So you want like a mysterious
Yeah, I
cult
want
that
a
no
cult
one really knows
Until
what
something
they're
crazy
up to.
happens, dude. Until something crazy happens.
So you want basically what you're looking for, Scotty, is like some kind of big event where like a crazy cult.
Well, I'm counting on Paul for that. Paul's gonna start a cult, dude.
Yeah,
And
what is your fucking cult? And none of this, we're just going to go in the woods shit. You need to fucking plan some kind of big attack against society, like blow up a hospital or some shit.
What?
Yeah, we want crazy shit.
You want a crazy ass cult, Paul? We're relying on you.
That's not what the Children of Salt are about.
Yes, they are.
No.
They get salty and they do things to society.
TJ, until we join it and reform the cult, dude.
Yeah, you start it, then we'll kill you and take your place, and then we'll
Brother
use
Paul
it
would have wanted
for
it this
evil.
way.
None that have received Brother Paul's holy seed could ever be salty because they have tasted the saltiest liquid on the planet.
Oh my god. Destroy things, Paul.
I'll destroy
Tear
the
down
minds
society.
and bodies of the people that are foolhardy enough
That's
to
not
follow
good
me.
enough. God damn it. You gotta fucking blow some shit up.
I don't want to blow anything up. Cults were prevalent during the fall of Rome, the French Revolution.
So are we not ready for this picture yet, or?
We can throw it up there. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
We're just kind of getting to the end of cults here. Cults arose in Japan after World War II and in Eastern Europe after the breakup of the communist bloc. Here in America, cults flourished during the rule of 1960s counterculture, civil unrest, the drug culture, the sexual revolution, and the weakening of the family left people looking for answers and assurance, which cults enthusiastically provided. So this is, it's a good idea of having no ideas of your own, looking for somebody that you perceive as smart to give you ideas, to fill your brain with your opinions. But what about making my ideas your ideas? What about that, TJ?
So, like...
Look at this guy right here on the screen. What about making my ideas...
So basically like brainwashing somebody?
Yeah, like brainwashing.
TJ's gonna be the Manchurian candidate, dude.
Brainwash.
Brainwash TJ.
Can you say brainwash?
Make TJ a zombie again.
During the Korean War, Korean and Chinese captors reportedly brainwashed American POWs held in prison camps. Several prisoners ultimately confessed to waging germ warfare, which they hadn't, and pledged allegiance to communism by the end of their captivity. At least 21 soldiers refused to come back to the United States when they were set free. It sounds impressive, but skeptics point out that it was 21 out of more than 20,000 prisoners in communist countries. Does brainwashing really work in any reliable way?
Well, I mean... It doesn't. It seems like the answer is yes, but not with a very high success rate.
Well, dude, yeah, there was an American dude that defected to North Korea and shit. I mean,
yeah, he's still there.
I think he died recently.
Oh, did he?
But he lived there the rest of his life.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, I mean, it can happen. It's possible.
You know who we need to send over there finally, once and for all? Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
Can
Fuck
I
yeah,
agree?
dude.
Can we all agree? Can we all join hands in this really contentious environment where we're all picking ponies in a political race that's all meaningless, just a fucking train to goddamn Garbageville that we're all just some reason we're in a race to get there? Can we all set that aside for 5 fucking seconds?
And just get rid of Dennis Rodman.
And can we please all
TJ?
agree, no matter what your social status, no matter where you are on the political
No
spectrum,
matter what you look like.
no matter what your race,
Where you
creed,
come
color,
from.
gender identity, sexual preference, whatever you want to say, can we all agree nobody wants Dennis Rodman here anymore? We're all done with him, right?
Dude,
Yeah,
look,
I think
Can you
I'll
pull
tell
up
you
a
what.
picture of Dennis Rodman? Can you
Yeah.
find like the recent one? Because
If Bernie wants my vote, the first thing I have to hear out of his mouth, not universal health care, not fucking making college tuition free. No, none of that shit, dude. Not fucking reforming the criminal justice system, not fucking legalizing marijuana. The first act of 2021 will be Bernie Sanders, the fucking Dennis Rodman 2021 Deportation Act, passed unanimously by Congress, dude. That's like, he has proposed that bill.
Oh my
That's
God.
it.
Get him out of here.
And he's deported to North Korea for the rest of his life, dude.
Oh my God. He has to go.
Unless I hear that come out of a politician's mouth, they can't have my vote, dude.
Yeah.
Or they smoke crack live on television.
My God, man.
I'll also accept crack smoking.
Can we please usher him to North Korea?
Why do he always look sweaty?
I don't know.
He's perpetually sweaty.
I don't know.
Can we DFF Dennis Rodman, dude?
I mean, it would probably make a pretty interesting one. He was a...
This man looks like he just sweats all the time.
I don't know.
Is he somewhere really hot all the time? Is he always in like tropical climates, or is he just always just sweating?
I've noticed that like Trump supporters are kind of sweaty.
They are, dude.
Have you guys noticed that? Like a lot of Trump supporters are like...
I've not noticed that, but I'll be on the lookout.
They're kind of... Yeah, just the next time you see a MAGA hat, look if underneath the brim there's a sheen of sweat on the face that it's shielding from the sun. I bet there will be, dude.
Let me just pull up some MAGA
They're kind of
people.
sweaty.
Yeah, go look up some, dude.
Yeah, here we go. I got some here.
They're sweaty. He looks sweaty.
Oh, dude, he's fucking sweaty as fuck, dude.
Oh yeah, dude.
Look at that sweaty fuck.
This dude is definitely.
Oh,
sweaty.
dude, his fucking
He
pits
is-
are fucking drenched.
He's sweaty.
That guy is
Oh,
visibly
you can
sweaty.
see. You can
Oh,
see how
God.
sweaty he is.
Sweaty.
Sweaty.
Oh, dude, definitely.
Sweaty.
Oh, dude,
I don't know. He might not.
He don't
be.
look sweaty.
he's wearing a fucking jacket, so he doesn't look like he's too sweaty. Sweaty. Oh, dude, he's definitely sweating under that fucking shit.
I don't know.
Dude, he's wearing like
Look at the dudes in the background.
That dude's.
Yeah, he's
definitely-
Oh,
sweaty.
he fucking reeks, dude.
I can't tell,
I
but
can't
probably.
tell. Yeah, bad. He looks like he might be a little sweaty.
That's definitely.
Oh,
sweaty.
damn.
drenched, dude.
Soaked. Dennis Rodman looks like somebody took the garden hose to him, man.
You know, Kanye does not really look sweaty in that.
He doesn't.
No.
He doesn't look too sweaty.
I don't think Kanye really.
Oh no,
sweats.
dude, go to this one, TJ. Man Attack Downtown.
Oh yeah.
That dude
Oh,
is sweaty
Jesus.
as fuck, dude.
That dude can't afford air
His fucking
conditioning.
dude, his
so-
ass is sweaty on that couch right now, dude. I guarantee you, it's fucking soaked in fucking sweat.
Oh god, dude, he look like he's on a
That
puddle.
couch
I love-
fucking reeks, dude.
I love looking at people wearing MAGA hats and like wondering how many
See, was
of
that
them.
famous MAGA kid sweaty? I can't tell.
He looks a little sweaty.
Yeah,
Not too sweaty.
he and his friends look like they're probably pretty sweaty.
Oh, look at that guy. Oh, no,
Whoa.
never mind. He actually, I think he's the guy that
Oh, he
stole the team.
snatched a
Yeah,
hat.
he stole one.
He looks pretty sweaty.
He looks sweaty too, though. Yeah.
Fucking
Wait a
hate
minute.
these.
Does Oh, look at that picture of Kanye. He might look sweaty.
He does
Con-
look sweaty.
He
huh?
looks.
Damn, sweaty, dude. He looks fucking sweaty as shit.
I don't know why that tickled me so hard, but I almost fucking passed out. TJ said he is sweaty.
He does. He looks sweaty, dude.
Maybe they need to start making like these MAGA hats with like a breathable material.
Dude, maybe we should do it, dude. We'll make the first truly breathable, sweat-proof MAGA hot, dude.
MAGA hot.
I fucking love
MAGA hot.
Kanye.
MAGA hot.
Look
MAGA
at him.
hat, dude.
He's like
Yeah.
the ultimate troll. But
And he's fucking sweaty. I just lost it, dude. He just lost his shit. This is sleep-deprived Paul at his finest, dude.
He looks so sweaty.
I think Paul's lost his mind, dude. What the fuck is going on? It's me, Paul. I do not know what's going on. He's sweaty.
Oh
He's
my-
sweaty.
Why are they all so
He's a sweaty. Oh, he's so. Oh, look, he's
Oh, man,
sweaty.
he is sweaty.
Oh, he's sweaty, man.
He's sweaty.
He's so sweaty. Look how sweaty he is. Look, dude, pull up here Dennis Rodman back when he played fucking for the Bulls, dude.
Oh, damn, dude. He's hecka sweaty.
Dude, Rodman sweaty too. Pull up, yeah, dude. Get Rodman during a game when he used to play TJ.
All right, this will be the last foray into Sweatville, though.
Then we got him, dude. We seen Kanye sweating, dude. He's sweaty as fuck, dude. I see sweat dripping off of him.
He's so
He's like a fucking fountain, dude.
Oh my god, hold on. Look at look at this. This is not the sweaty thing, but look at this shit.
Get him out of here!
You ever wanted to see Uncanny Valley Dennis Rodman, dude?
Who would create such an abomination?
NBA 2K17, dude.
We have sinned before God.
Look at it.
The hubris of man was gone too far.
Oh my God.
Oh, dude. No. Okay, I gotta find a picture of Dennis Rodman sweaty.
It won't be hard, dude. He's the
I mean, his model here does look mildly sweaty.
Yeah, it looks like he's about to start sweating.
I put in Dennis Rodman sweaty. Even though shit I find of him in games, he don't look that sweaty.
Sweaty.
I don't think he sweated that much before he started wearing MAGA hats, dude.
Sweaty.
Is that the correlation there?
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you.
Causation?
I think these MAGA hats are made out of like cheap fucking Chinese
All right, I'm gonna get
rayon or whatever.
Dennis
the fuck.
Rodman playing. So, like, in the middle of a game or whatever. He's not sweaty at all there. Nope.
Damn, dude.
All right,
It really...
well, there's a little sweat. He doesn't really seem like he perspires all that much while he's playing, dude.
So
What are we doing?
Dude, so what the fuck happened, dude?
We're trying to figure out whether Rodman sweats a lot when he plays basketball. It's the perfect fucking example of having no idea.
I no, it's a perfect example of having an idea.
Oh, I don't
The
think
idea
it
was
is,
let's
TJ.
go down sweat
He
lane,
wasn't
dude.
fucking sweaty, dude.
Sweat lane.
The minute you put on a MAGA hat, you just become fucking sweaty.
Stop laughing, god damn
Oh
it.
shit.
All right,
Fucking I don't know, dude.
but there he is. He's playing. He's not sweating that bad. You know, I don't know. Every picture
We're in
I
a
find of him, he ain't sweating.
We're in a fucking MAGA hat, though. I don't know, dude.
It's so sweaty.
Okay. All right. Then.
All right, then.
I don't even know. Is it what?
I don't know where we are. We're somewhere.
Fucking can't even remember what.
Brainwashing. That's what we're supposed
Oh
to be
yeah,
talking about.
Yeah, I remember now.
So in psychology, the study of brainwashing.
No. Okay.
I can't do it.
All right. Whatever.
Okay, we can get so brainwashing. Most psychologists don't really agree that it exists in the way that people think it exists.
Dude, do you think Paul is sweaty, dude?
You can't like zombify a person or whatever, strip away their free will, but you can subtly change their environment and their perceptions and all that.
okay. Cool.
Blah 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 blah. So yeah.
I had no idea, Paul.
And that's it. That's what I. That's the show.
Play a fucking. I gave you farts. Come on. Play a fart. All right, now lean into the next one.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, damn.
Wait.
Got another one?
There we go. All right. Good night, everybody.
Goodbye.